Betrayal and disobedience have led to this place on the hill where you hang and we wait. We are your people and you are our God, and we fail again and again. Constantly, defiantly, willingly we fail. You called us back like a loving father accepting his rebellious son's return, and yet we fled again. We always flee again, down the road that leads towards disorder, hate, selfishness, and discord. We, your people, walk the path of violence every day. We, your people, stumble on our path and turn aside like a stubborn donkey, without a harness or bridle, although you so gently tried to lead us. We, your people, suffer the consequences of our foolishness and hubris, of our greed, as we grab for power where we can get it, in our families, in our neighborhoods, in our churches, in our countries, in the world. And so many suffer. And yet, here you hang on a crudely cut piece of wood. Here they mock you for your sin, for your offenses, for the sin of walking in righteousness and the folly of daring to heal on the day of rest. Here godly love becomes punishable by death, because that's how this world is. Did you know it was like this when you came here? You quickly learned, as a little baby and then a young child and then a man whose life was constantly endangered. You understood, didn't you, what you were getting into when you came to us? You must have known, but you came anyway. You cry on the cross to your Father, asking why you have been forsaken when you were so obedient. And even in the midst of the worst suffering, you look upon those of us who hang on the cross beside you, convicted by our undeniable sin, and speak comfort. Father, why did you forsake him when he never forsook us? Here you hang in the quagmire of our iniquity, in the center of all that we have destroyed in the name of our own selfish pride, greed, anger, lust, hatred. Here you hang in the middle of our lives, and where the world burns around us and war rages, you never abandoned us, but came and laid down your life for your friends, for your beloved children, for us. You hung for us. You hung so that we might look at one another with a little bit of the compassion that you give to us. You hung so that we might understand the weight of our choices, the cost of who we are and what we do. You hung so that we might be aware of the places where light doesn't shine, and shine it there, so that everybody can see that you hung for us, for all of us, for sinners and spitters, for murderers and rapists, for insurgents and dictators, for weeping mothers and angry fathers, for fearful children and heartbroken men and women, for us, for me. And yet, even as you hang, darkness cannot completely cover the world, because your presence shines a light on that which is not yet but will be. Even as you cry to your Father in fear and agony, your cross is a beacon that makes it known that our cries too are heard. Even as you breathe your last, we know that the story can't end here, because God can't end. And sure as I now breathe, you are the Lord. This world, our world, the one that's so broken and so hurting, the one where orphans clutch the hand of their sister because she's all that's left, and the world where people huddle together in their houses fearing bombs, fearing war, fearing persecution, and the world where nightmares are real and the powerful always put their feet upon the backs of the weak. This is the world that is slowly dying with you. And the world that's coming, the world we know you create with your mighty hands, the future we so desperately cling to when children are taken too soon from their parents, and all we know is the agony of waiting to hear the diagnosis, waiting to say goodbye, waiting to hear a word of comfort, waiting to be rescued. That world, with no more crying or pain or evil or fear, that's the world that your hanging on the cross makes possible. Because your story is not over on Good Friday, and because it wasn't, ours isn't. You stood in the midst of our world burning to the ground, and then waited in the ashes to declare, "It is finished." But you knew it was not finished. It will not be finished until Sunday, until the grave clothes are laid aside forever, until the lion and the lamb drink at the river of life side by side, and the dictator offers a hand of compassion to the weak, and war ceases. There will be no more crying then. And the tree upon which you hang is transformed into the tree of life, upon which all our names have been inscribed, which bears the sweetest fruit and calls us towards the throne of the one who sent you, who made us, who called us back to be forgiven and holy and whole. And so together on this Good Friday, we wait. We wait for you, for your promise and all that is to come. We wait for morning. We wait.